in over 100 countries, in 7 different languages, to more than 500 million viewers each week. The World Wrestling Federation, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment.
Everybody, and welcome to WWF New York.
Is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, accompanied by the Nation of Domination, weighing 271 pounds, D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown on his way to the ring as we will have faction warfare. There's Rocky Maivia. We've got a lot of things, a lot of ground to cover, no pun intended, about tomorrow night's Ground Zero pay-per-view.